in light of 2 pedestrian crashes that killed a child and severely injured another less than 1 week apart. Councilor Haxhiaj.
I realize that it's 11:30 and I'm the only thing standing between sleep and going back to our families, but I am going to bring Candace into the room today. And I'm going to bring her because this child was supposed to be starting school in 2nd grade this week, along with Gianna, who got killed on Shrewsbury Street. And I am going to be completely honest with this body, with you, Mr. Manager, and with you, Mr. Chair, that as tired as I am right now and as upset I am that I can't put my kids to bed, at least I get to go home to my children, my 2 boys. This mother who I met with today, Asha, and her Candace's father, shared with me that since the murder of their daughter by a resident, a motorist who is still in court, this family hasn't found justice. They shared with me how traumatized they are, how terrified they are to go on the street, how traumatized their little boy is for losing their sister. And as I sat in their living room, as I pick up the phone and call them every month to check on them, I just realized that this body that we were elected to protect our children, we were elected to protect Candace, we were elected to protect Gianna, we were elected to protect the child that is in a coma, and the toddler that's still in a coma, and the many other children who you heard from some of our constituents today have suffered. This body has neglected these children. I don't take my job lightly. I don't take my job lightly. I don't take my job lightly as a mother, and I don't take my job lightly as a city councilor. What happened today with the holding of a resolution, a non-binding resolution, that asked this body to simply declare a public health emergency is unconscionable. It is shameful and it is neglectful. I will never forget the amount of anger, the amount of frustration, and the amount of hurt that I see in Candace's parents. And we are sitting here at 11:30. We spent hours talking about trash. Hours. Issues that are important to our residents. But we don't have the courage to publicly say, to be on record, to say that this child deserves us to say on record that traffic deaths and traffic crashes that don't happen in a vacuum, that don't happen passively, are a public health and emergency. I did not ask Councilor Colorio, I did not ask any of the councilors in this room to vote on the 25 mile per hour or the safety zones policy. I asked this council to say to our residents that this child who died on our street, on Stafford Street, deserves us to say this is a public health emergency. And yet we have been dragging our feet. I haven't been dragging my feet. People in this body have been dragging their feet. This child deserves justice. This child deserves our attention. This child and other children who will die because we can't even bear to raise awareness on an issue that should create anger and anxiety and angst on all of us is just simply unconscionable. Mr. Manager, you're about to have a second baby. And I have 2 children. And I think most people in this room are either parents or grandparents or aunties or uncles to somebody. And I don't understand why, after so many attempts, after so many calls, after a child died on our street, and a toddler is in a coma, and another kid is in a coma, that we don't have the courage and the consciousness to say this is a public health emergency. A non-binding statement and a promise and a commitment to our children that we will do everything possible, even if that means that it's a resolution. Mr. Chair, I have made a commitment to this child, and I made a commitment to her mother, because if I was her mother and I lost my kids on the street, I would not rest a day in my life. And as long as I'm elected, and as long as I am in a position of power and influence, I will do whatever it takes to make sure that those folks have the resources that they need to do the jobs. And that I, as a mother, I, as a resident, and somebody who cares deeply about the city, do everything in my power, even if that means that I have to fight to get a resolution passed by the city council. Shame. All I'm going to say is that this is a shameful moment. It's a shameful moment. However, Mr. Manager, Mr. Mayor, and the rest of the council, and those who are listening, this shameful moment hopefully will be rectified at the next council meeting, where this body should vote unanimously on the 25 miles an hour policy, on the safety zones designation, and make sure that this child who doesn't have a seat in a classroom because she died at the hands of a reckless driver who will not get justice in the court system, this child will at least get some justice on the city council floor. I'm filing the motion, by the way.
You're going to file this?
I'm going to file this, that's correct.
Okay. Councilor King?